All righty, we're going to come back to some calls and some text messages in a minute, but I just want to get into this. This is a particular angle, if you like, in relation to the whole sort of family violence issue. It comes from a story I was reading in the Sunday Age on the weekend, and it's about a former detective, Steve Wilson, who operates a private investigation and group called Protective Group, who are asked to come in and get involved when a person believes that their partner is stalking them, spying on them, and so forth. I was quite stunned when I read some of the cases that he gets involved in, and he joins me on the line. Thanks for your time, Stephen.
Thanks, Gary.
All right. Well, you have the ability, obviously, to find what people fear is happening, which is that they are being spied on. But when you determine that it's through the use of spy pens or cameras hidden in fridges, I was quite stunned to read some of the details. How busy are you at the moment, and how do people come to you with their case for you to look into?
Well, thank you. And yes, very busy. We've been doing this for probably a dozen years, myself and another business partner, Steve Schultz. We started it back in probably 2011, 12. And ever since then, it's sort of gotten busier. Most people are referred to us. In Victoria, there's a very, very strong referral basis where the organisations such as Orange Door, Child Protection and many, many others come to us before even women go to refuge and say, we want you to go out, want you to check her car, we want you to check her devices, make sure her and the kids are safe, and then they can, off they go to refuge. And also just in their own homes, if they're concerned that there's something in their homes, well, we receive a referral and off we go. We do get some private clients, we call them private clients, that aren't coming through a referral service. However, we generally say to them on a national basis, we would prefer you to maybe find a local family violence service or someone that can assist you, because we feel that you need to be case managed. We're a corporate entity. Our job is to come and do what we do, but you need some case management and also to fund it, find some funding so we're not sort of, charging them at the same time. So that's how it works. And in come the referrals on a national basis, but mostly in Victoria at the moment, in New South Wales.
And then you sort of go into someone's home and do you have a belief that you're looking for something, or do you just stumble upon things?
No, well, generally the referral will identify that the victim believes she's being stalked. Whether he's turning up the same location as her, whether he's at the school when he shouldn't be there, whether he's at the local supermarket, or whether she, for instance, in once where she bought some tickets to go to an AFL football match, and when she got there with a new partner, the former partner was sitting in the same row. So identifying through her emails when she bought tickets even. So they generally have a feeling, Gary, that this is existing, and if we can go and so we can find, and almost on a daily basis now, well, we do find trackers and hidden cameras and compromised devices with spyware as well.
So, I mean, you're talking about things like camera pens that are
Yes.
just left in a home and on active when they went all the time, or?
Yeah, all the time. We find them in pot plants. When the perpetrators maybe attend the property to pick up the kids, he just checks on them and makes sure they're still working. We find them in alarm clocks, stubby holders, sitting on a bench. So, and we find just hidden cameras. Some houses, as I said in the article, some houses can have a dozen hidden cameras throughout. They're all numbered.
That was one case where a lady did have about 12 hidden cameras.
Yeah, baby monitors, everything like that they use to sit out the front and monitor them and stalk them. And if I could point out now too that I think prior to COVID, a lot of it was around physical surveillance, but I think COVID changed it with lockdowns and curfews, where they turn more to using technology that's easily found on the web.
So, do you reckon it's the people doing it themselves, or are they hiring someone to plant these things?
A bit of both. I'd have no doubt that a lot of them do them themselves. They're cheap. You can buy them off the internet. An Apple AirTag or a tile you can drop into a person's vehicle at some stage. You don't even need the keys. You can put it somewhere that they won't find it. And or there are maybe times that they use other people to do it for them.
What sort of reaction do you get when you say to, let's say, a woman that you say, well, we've found 12 cameras in your home?
Yeah. Look, firstly, when we go there, we tell them that, look, we're not here to question the abuse. We're here to see how we can help you. We're here to talk to you. We want to identify, disrupt and educate. So we're here to help you. We're here to keep you safe. We're here to remove that anxiety. And most of them feel really good, amazingly, when you do find something. They say, wow, I always thought that was there. And then what we do is we empower them and say to them, look, what do you want us to do? Do you want to call a family friend? Do you want to call your case manager at a service? Or do you want to call the police? We empower them to make that decision. And then we would say, okay, let's call the police and get them to come here and remove the tracker and go from there.
Do you get many inquiries from WA out of interest, given that I know you're in Victoria, but do you get many inquiries, or are they growing? Or
Yeah, lots. Western Australia, we do get a lot of inquiries, but we notice the sort those numbers escalate after there's been an incident. So often you can see, as in the Hannah Clark incident in Queensland a few years ago, you can actually see that, we do get a lot from Perth. We get a lot of inquiries from Perth, not so much from services, but individuals are looking for help. And again, we try to refer them to the service so that someone could obviously organise us to go over there.
So in other words, look, if someone decides that they're ringing you and saying, look, I think this is happening, you're not in a position to come, but obviously there's people they could use here. But what about the sort of funding side of it? You talked about how, women who might be caught up in a situation where they think they're being stalked to that level of cameras being planted in their home. Do you know what the situation is with funding for things like that, where the government or an agency will pick up the tab?
We've had some agencies pick up the tab, but I don't believe there's any specific funding that I know of around a program like what we do. I think sometimes that if we refer a client across to a service, and if they can get some funding off them, and to be really honest, Gary, we do go over.
Right.
We've been over 3 or 4 times in the last 5 months to try and help people, but we do have people over there that can assist as well.
What an extraordinary situation. I mean, when I was reading about your son, finding that a smart fridge was being used to target a woman with on watch, explain that to me, how that worked.
Yeah, I think it was just through the app. He still controlled the app. It's like we find a lot of smart homes where, because if you've got Spire on the phone, he can see a text and he just takes control of the phone. We've had clients that will text friends or lawyers and say, or whatever, and say, look, I'm going to meet you at lunchtime today. But then he uses a smart home technology to lock the gates so she can't get the car out. And then when she can't get the kids to school because he's locked the gates, he then goes to Child Protection and said, look, she's not a good mum. She's not even getting kids to school on time. They use that to turn up air conditioners in winter and heaters in summer and turn music up. So it's just an ever...
And I mean, you're talking like being able to send a message to a woman in her home through a smart fridge which says, I'm watching you, you bitch. That sort of thing.
Yeah, a little bit probably like when the banks have identified how people transfer, thousands of times over a week, they'll transfer 10 cents to someone and use that as a message system to say, I'm going to get you, you rotten thing, or you're never going to see your kids again by just transferring the 10 cents and putting that in the description. Similar sort of thing, using technology just to perpetuate the abuse. It is.
So, okay, when you do say, look, we found this is what's happening with your smart fridge, this is what's happening with these cameras we found in your home, then it's up to the police, though, whether they would prosecute the person for what? Breaching Surveillance Devices Act or something like that?
Yeah, breaching intervention laws. And that's another issue I sort of promised to talk about, a national focus. That's another thing. See, nationally, every state's different. They call it different things. Some state call them partner violence, some family violence. Intervention orders are called different things and approached differently. Generally, we go to the police and we say, look, this is over to you now. We've done our little bit. We've tried to get in and stop. It's not just about changing a perpetrator's behaviour. It's about getting in early and stopping him from having the ability to continue to stalk her. We sort of walk away at that point, let the police take it from there. Some police, they're not. I don't think it's so much a reluctancy. It's more that they might not have a great knowledge, and they say to, we get a lot of people saying, police or my friends think I've got mental health issues. No, what you're doing is you're suffering trauma from a continued abuse over the years, because you know what? Generally, there's something in what they tell us. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. All right. Well, look, I don't know whether to say this, but I'm sorry that you're so busy, but obviously what you do is important.
Thank you.
All right. Good on you, mate. Steve Wilson there. He's the CEO of Protective Group. They're based in Victoria, but as you just heard him say, they do get more and more calls from West Australia asking if they can help with these situations. Have you ever, out there, found out that your partner is going to those lengths to monitor you, to intimidate you, to stalk you,